the conditions contributing to a fantastic atmosphere in the stands. This really is the place to be. And the mood is boisterous. It is a perfect ambience for the central characters who are ready now to perform. What is your interpretation of the likely formation here?
Well, it could be a disguise, Peter, for something else. And that five at the back can easily produce wing-backs. If that's the case, I think, you know, it might end up a three at times. Admittedly, though, if they do play deeper and in line with the centre-backs, then we can take it that they don't really want to give much away. That will be foremost in their minds. But essentially, it depends on the two wide players in that defence. If they push on a little bit more, we could see something very different.
And we're underway. Mitoma. And it's Kadiolu.
Kadiolu.
And that's left him on the seat of his pants. Not quite sure who got the final touch, but it will be another corner. James can get it clear. And the finish! Straight at the keeper.
Well, he doesn't need a second invitation, even from that range.
That's a throw. Mitoma. And here's Welbeck. The pressing's intense, and it's paid off. Plenty waiting in the middle. Only partially clear. Chalobah with the clearance. Mitoma. And the shot!
Well, that's confidence for you. Distance doesn't even bother him.
Palmer. Caicedo. James looking to hit the byline here. We expected better, and so did he. Can he finish? Decent enough try. Vifa, Joel Veltman, Vifa proves too strong. João Pedro, Pedro Neto, Cucurella, Pedro Neto, Caicedo. Welbeck wins the duel this time. Mitoma. Vifa. Great run this, he's covered quite a distance already. Very nicely done. Looks a mighty effort! Another header, but again, the same outcome.
Maybe they're trying to cash in on this, but someone has to up the quality here, both movement and delivery.
Fernandez. Pedro Neto. Caggiolo forwards and with intent. Fofana. Pedro Neto. Cucurella. Fernandez. Caicedo. Fernandez. And it's Palmer. There are a few waiting for it. Up he goes! Couldn't quite control it.
You really could have done with engaging those crossers much higher up the pitch there. This isn't good defending.
Now it's João Pedro. Back into the middle. Shoots! Oh, nearly, but nearly is nothing.
Well, to put it this way, he's probably made better decisions.
And it's played forward. Caggiolo. Mitoma. Caggiolo. Mitoma. Delivers the ball. Pedro Neto. Cucurella. Pedro Neto. Cucurella. And here's Neto. Brilliantly cut out. And that has been clubbed away. Cucurella. And here's Neto. And it's Cucurella. And here's Neto. That is lovely. Pedro Neto with the delivery. Caggiolo with the clearance. Fernandez. Shot, surely! And he thumps it clear. Fernandez. It's a loose ball, and he's following up! And that's caused a worry or two.
Well, he looks a little annoyed with himself, Peter, but he hit it well enough. Better look next time, maybe.
Joel Veltman. Vifa. Aimed in towards the centre. Caicedo. Colwill. Palmer. Cucurella. João Pedro.
João Pedro really was well marshalled there because he was denied the opportunity to turn.
Toma. Lovely bit of skill. Cadiolu played in. Pedro Neto. João Pedro. Toma. And a chance! It's really well cleared. Caicedo. James. Looks to the other side. Pedro Neto. Cucurella. Pedro Neto. Fofana. Fernandes. Can he stop it going out? Caicedo. Fernandes. Dealt with nicely by the defence. Out for a throw. Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto with the delivery. He can get that clear. Chalobah producing a good steal there, showing a good level of alertness. Palmer. Colwill. James. Palmer. James. James chooses to go cross-field. And it's Cucurella. Pedro Neto. Bruggen claims it without any fuss. Fernandes. Colwill. Aim forwards. Palmer. Fernandes. Pedro Neto. Fernandes. That's a good intervention. That was what he had to make in the face of danger that was growing. FIFA. And it's Cadiolu. Toma. James does really well to win the ball there. Pedro Neto. Palmer chasing after it. James. Palmer. James. Caicedo. Fernandes. Caicedo. Decent chance! Oh, just lacked a decent finish.
He just didn't catch that one right, and he knows it. That will annoy the manager. They're making themselves too predictable here.
It's Palmer. Fernandes. Cucurella. That's a good run down the left. Can he deliver? Oh, nice touch. Fernandes. Fernandes laid out to the left flank. Moved on forwards. Joel Veltman. Vifa. And that's a foul. A simple decision for the referee. Kajolu. His chance for a shot!
He almost caught everyone out there the way he just eked out the room to get the shot in.
Pedro Neto. João Pedro. That's really well manoeuvred. Vifa. Kajolu. Mitoma. Mitoma. It's deflected over the goal line for a corner. Getting this one clear.
Well, that's good defending. He squeezed the play and he gave him no chance to get on the turn.
Fernandez. Pedro Neto. Cucurella. Pedro Neto. James. Cucurella. Caicedo. Purring through the gears. Nice control. A chance to play it in. Caicedo. There's the shot! And somehow it stayed out. And it's Vifa. Out of play for a throw. Vifa. Oh, it's played into the area. Welbeck. Welbeck's cross. Fernandez. Pedro Neto. Fernandez. And it goes cross-field. And reclaimed it in a trice. Colwill. Fernandez. Spread out to the left. Fernandez has created one goal already. James. Out to the right. He's got options in the box if he gets his head up. Deftly away. Caicedo. And the volley! He wasn't that far away.
Well, you see what a difference it makes to have so many runners into the box. It makes life so much harder for that defence.
gone forwards. Mitoma. The ball is loose and the chase is on. Delivered with swing. Chalobah attempts a clearance. João Pedro. That is a great pick out. Palmer. Kadiolu with a fine tackle. FIFA. Palmer. Pedro Neto. Cucurella. Pedro Neto. Caicedo. James. Caicedo. Fernandes. First quarter of an hour gone. He's in a great position here. That's good defending, very good defending. He's gone down, but the referee just tells him to get back up again. Caicedo. Fernandes. Cucurella. Now it's João Pedro. Yeah, he's pulled him up for that challenge. The ref's been lenient here. I doubt he'll get too many more chances. By a great piece of goalkeeping.
Well, I thought his starting position was good, and that helped the keeper to judge the flight of the ball and deal with it well.
And he's on a charge. Caicedo. Palmer. James. And played cross-field, changing the point of attack. Pedro Neto. Caicedo. He's had a shot! They've played it short. Cross in, looks like a good one. Danger averted for now. And it's Fernandes. Vifa did well to step in there. That was more than necessary. And here's Welbeck. They played right into his path. Chalobah. Pedro Neto. Cucurella. Pedro Neto. Fernandes. Pedro Neto. In it comes. Cucurella has overhit it. Joel Veltman. Vifa. That's tidy. Looking for a decent ball in. Yeah, he's fouled him there. There could be trouble here. But for now, the referee is keeping his cards in his pocket. Fernandez. Pedro Neto. Played towards the other side. Palmer chooses to go cross-field. For a moment you felt that was going somewhere, but they'll have to go again. Mitoma. Caicedo. Fernandez. And it's Cucurella. And he has been fouled there. And he has shown him a yellow card.
Absolutely terrific reflexes, goalkeeping at its very best.
Fofana going full tilt down the left. There's a beautiful simplicity about this contest. Willing running on one side, dogged defence on the other. The message is clear, none shall pass. Now it's João Pedro. Palmer. Hoisted in. Now it's Welbeck. Pedro Neto. João Pedro. Pedro Neto. Showing good feet. Fernandez. What a throw in. Kadiolu. Mitoma. Mitoma. Oh, nicely intercepted. Caicedo. Fernandez. Cucurella. James. Looks to the other side. Pedro Neto. Cucurella. Fernandez. James. Palmer, now the ball in. He's overhit it, and it's out of play. And it's played forward. Now it's Welbeck. Mitoma. Oh, that's well done, really robust. Cucurella. Cucurella, and it goes cross-field. James. Palmer. Whistle's gone, that's a foul. Referee has resisted the temptation to go to his pocket. It's just a stern lecture. FIFA gets it away. And that's a throw. And it's Caicedo. Real chance! Oh, it's come loose. Oh, what a climb! Fair attempt, just the wrong outcome.
Well, there wasn't too much wrong with his effort. He needs to get on the ball again and give it another crack. I would.
FIFA. FIFA. Ball's played through. And he decides to cross it. That should be the goalkeeper's, and it is. Palmer. Palmer has found the net here, of course. Cucurella played over towards the opposite flank. Pedro Neto. Cucurella. Played in with Perk. Climbs up big! And the header is disappointing in the end.
You really could have done with engaging those crossers much higher up the pitch there. This isn't good defending.
Kajolu. Chalobah, he ran himself into trouble there, free kick given away. Sanchez, long ball by the goalkeeper. Mitoma. Mitoma. Oh, that's neat. It's gone out for a throw-in. Fernandez. João Pedro. Cucurella. Pedro Neto. And played cross-field, changing the point of attack. And it's James. Caicedo. Fernandez. Takes a shot! Oh, that is rather wayward. FIFA. Promising looking ball that. Fofana. Caicedo. Cucurella. Fofana. Cucurella. Aim forwards.
Well, that was well positioned and well pinched. They can't hurt with their backs to goal.
Now who's going to be first to this? He's shifting through the gears here. Cleared away. Chance! Palmer forwards and with intent. And here's Welbeck. Oh, such a clever touch. Big chance! Palmer. James. That's a good intervention. That was what he had to make in the face of danger that was growing. Joel Veltman. He is through here. Nice physical challenge. Oh, he's going to be pulled back for that one. Well, you might think he got off lightly. It is just a verbal warning. He's having a shot! Pedro Neto. Fernandez. Caicedo. Palmer. Palmer tries making a foray down the right. That's the throw. Vifa. Vifa. Caicedo producing a good steal there, showing a good level of alertness. Pedro Neto. And here's Neto. Strong running down that left flank. That looks a good cross. It's a mighty effort! Well, that is clearly not the outcome he wanted.
You really could have done with engaging those crosses much higher up the pitch there. This isn't good defending.
Vifa. Joel Veltman. Vifa. Joel Veltman. And here's Welbeck. Palmer. James. Fernandez. Pedro Neto. Now he's off and running. here's Neto. And it's Cucurella. Tries to get it clear. He's found a way through. Keeps on running. Cucurella gets in to thwart him. Caicedo. Pedro Neto. Chalobah. And that's really well manoeuvred. And here's Welbeck. Welbeck. Well, that defending is unapologetically persistent. It's almost personal. And it had to be. Goes for a shot! Cleared without complication. Oh, he's really drilled it. Veltman. And the shot! Caicedo. James. Fernandez.
This referee could soon change his status.
Joel Veltman. Is onto it in a flash. And no, that is pretty much the end of that. Cucurella. Pedro Neto. Half an hour played now. Cucurella. Caicedo. Excellent challenge there, uncompromising. FIFA. Dunk. Cadiolou. FIFA. And here's Welbeck. Welbeck! Well, he should have done better, and he knows it.
Welbeck is clearly kicking himself here. He knew that was a great opportunity.
Cucurella. Pedro Neto. Palmer. And it's Caicedo. James. Caicedo. Now it's João Pedro. Oh, good spread. Short changes him with that pass. FIFA. Joel Veltman. FIFA. Joel Veltman. FIFA. Joel Veltman. Lovely feet. Rifa providing an outlet on that flank. João Pedro. Colwell. Mitoma. Kajolu. Mitoma. Moved on forwards. Oh, great play!
Oh, he's got a crucial block in there.
Palmer. Caicedo. And it's played forward. And it's Welbeck. Mitoma. Yeah, that does look a foul. Referee's given a free kick. Farmer can get it clear. Oh, that's nice. Time to deliver. Back in once more. James. Colwell. It's all a little short of forward momentum, lacking thrust. Palmer. Fernandez. And that's the end of that. It all started well enough. Good work on the right flank here. Fofana cuts out the pass. João Pedro. Caicedo. Palmer. Fernandez. That's ruffled a few feathers, but well dealt with. Good spell of possession this, but very little to show for it. Cucurella. Played towards the other side. Palmer. James. Palmer. James. Palmer. Palmer gets a cross in. James with the short one. Looking for a decent ball in. And it's Cucurella. Colwell. Palmer. Palmer made out towards the right wing. Dunk tries to clear. Palmer. chance to play it in. James, chance! Oh, terrific save from the keeper.
Yeah, he was well placed to deal with that.
Aim forwards. FIFA. Joel Veltman. Palmer. Pedro Neto. James. Palmer. Colwell played over towards the opposite flank. Pedro Neto. Caggiolu gets it away. Caicedo. Fernandez. João Pedro gets it away. Now it's João Pedro. Well, that looks a foul. Yep, referee's given it. Just a talking to, I think. Yes, it is.
Yeah, well, they were exposed and vulnerable, and he knew he had to do something to prevent a goal then.
He's gone direct. And the ball's come loose here. He'll try to keep this alive. And it's Caicedo. Fernandez. It's anyone's ball now. Gets good distance on it. Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto! And the shot! And kept out by the most elastic of saves.
Really anticipated that well, didn't he?
Mitoma. He's making a real surge on the left. That's good play. Caggiolu. He's in plenty of space here. That's very neat. Plenty waiting in the middle. Caggiolu. FIFA. Oh, sweet feet. That has been knocked clear. FIFA. Out towards the flank. That's good play. Palmer. Fernandez. João Pedro. FIFA. Dunk. FIFA. That's really well manoeuvred. Caicedo. Cucurella. Pedro Neto. Cucurella. Clearly not happy with that. Mitoma. And it's Caggiolu. Well read, nice interception. It's run loose here. Played back to the goalkeeper. Fernandez. And it's played forward. Oh, that's well done, really robust. Now it's Pedro. Good challenge, excellent challenge. Now it's Welbeck. Toma. Knocks it out wide. Kajolu. Oh, nice touch. There are a few waiting for it. Proves too strong. Well, that is good. Super running, sharp movement. Came up against a defender, though, who was ever so determined. Palmer. That has found him in acres of space. That is a brilliant interception. And it's Palmer. Turns and goes back. Mitoma. Vifa. And here's Welbeck. Mitoma. Great defending, strong and determined. João Pedro. Fernandez. Pedro Neto. Oh, shooting chance! Kajolu. Vifa. Joel Veltman. Has a quick glance. Played into space out wide. Succumbs to the pressure. Fernandez, aim forwards. Caicedo. Palmer. And it's James. Fernandez. Caicedo. Can he deliver? Vifa. Kajolu. Mitoma. Just 5 minutes left until the break. Can he finish? It's off target and by quite a way.
They're probably getting frustrated by the lack of chances, I suppose.
Fernandez. Fofana, and he goes cross-field. Caicedo. João Pedro. Out to the right. In by James. Toma. Oh, that's nice and simple for the keeper. Pedro Neto. Cucurella. Pedro Neto. The pressing whistle's gone, that's foul. And he's going to have his name taken. Chalobah. And it's James. Caicedo. James. Well read, and the danger is averted. Moved on forwards. Now it's João Pedro. Shot a goal! And it's been taken short. James flashes it across. Here comes another cross. A reprieve, albeit perhaps momentary. Well, that was a period of possession which carried just about no threat at all. Cucurella. Colwill. Well, that had the makings of something quite promising, but it's fizzled out into nothing. Needs a bit of penetration to go with all this possession. And it's played forward. Fernandez. Caicedo. Pedro Neto. Fernandez. Cucurella. Caicedo. Nice physical challenge. Oh, the defence just about came out on top, but they were certainly tested.
Well, the lethargy in their play isn't a great look, and it was very evident on that occasion.
Joel Veltman. It's a great gallop down the right-hand side. Driving on, a real charge here. So who's he picking out? Cucurella did well to emerge with the ball. That's a contest to keep an eye on. Palmer. James. Fernandez. Now it's João, and he shoots! Fernandez. Pedro Neto. Cucurella. Pedro Neto. Caicedo.
Well, that's good defending. He squeezed the play and he gave him no chance to get on the turn.
Fernandez. Cucurella. Fernandez. Palmer. And it's James. Fernandez. Excellent challenge there, uncompromising. Cucurella. Caicedo. João Pedro. James. Very nicely done. Caicedo. And he thumps it clear. That's been won straight back. Fernandez. Played towards the other side. Palmer. Caicedo. Caicedo looking for a runner. Chooses to go back. Joel Veltman. Dunk. Caicedo. Fofana. Fernandez. Cucurella. Pedro Neto. Cucurella. Now it's Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto. Cross deflected behind for a corner. That has been knocked clear. FIFA. And it's Kadiolu. Mitoma. Caicedo. João Pedro. Pedro Neto. João Pedro. Out to the left it goes. Showing good feet. Time to deliver. Real tries a shot! Kadiolu. Dunk. FIFA. Dunk. Aim forwards. Fofana. Caicedo. Succumbs to the pressure. Well played, that has snuffed out the danger. Cucurella. Fernandez. Palmer. João Pedro. He's had a shot! Oh, he's missed it.
João Pedro really can't believe he didn't put that away. He'd set himself up perfectly.
FIFA. Joel Veltman. It's a good run down the right. Cucurella. Pedro Neto. Fernandez. Palmer. And it's James. Welbeck. Toma. Kadiolu. He's in plenty of space here. Colwell makes the interception. Kadiolu is sporting a guilty look after that.
His teammates are really annoyed with that, you know, and they have every right to be.
James. Caicedo. Fernandez. And it's Cucurella. Cucurella, and he goes cross-field. Palmer. Welbeck. Mitoma. That's an imaginative pass. And he cuts out the supply. And there's the shot!
Welbeck really needed to concentrate on protecting the ball. Then again, he was being very closely marshalled.
Pedro Neto. Cucurella. Pedro Neto. Can he get onto this? Mitoma. Kadiolu. Fernandez. Caicedo. João Pedro. Oh, that is asking for trouble. Palmer. Played out to the right. James crosses. Tries to get it clear. FIFA. Chalobah gets over and intercepts. Pedro Neto. Oh, that is a good ball to find him. A chance to play it in. Pedro Neto. Nicely shaped cross. Mitoma. Kadiolu. FIFA. Moved on forwards. FIFA. Joel Veltman. And it's FIFA. Played into space out wide. Joel Veltman. FIFA. Oh, good spread. Played out to the right. Palmer. Cucurella. Fernandez. Pedro Neto. James. Played over towards the opposite flank. Fernandez. Cucurella. João Pedro. That's a nicely weighted pass. Oh, easy pickings there. Kadiolu gets it clear. And it's Caicedo. Welbeck. Mitoma. FIFA. Joel Veltman. FIFA. They get a throw in. It's a pretty loose pass. And here's Welbeck. Great defending, strong and determined. Pedro Neto. Caicedo. Palmer. João Pedro. Caicedo. Fernandez. Caicedo. Fernandez. Caicedo. James. And here's Palmer. And that's aimed into the middle. Here comes the corner. That's not going far. And that's surely a foul, free kick. Well, you might think he got off lightly. It is just a verbal warning. Oh, smashing header! Didn't quite get enough on that.
That's good play, plenty of targets in the penalty area and plenty of movement too.
On time, excellent interception. Caicedo. Fernandez. Aim forwards. Now it's João Pedro. Mitoma. And it's Kadiolu. Kadiolu. And he's there to get it away. Kadiolu. And that is a little undercooked. And he's heaved it away. That'll be a throw. It's a poor throw that, picked off with relative ease. João Pedro, Cucurella. Caicedo. Palmer. João Pedro, steaming on goalwards. Welbeck. Cucurella. Pedro Neto. Fernandez. And he shoots! He's done very well to get to that.
I think he's done great there, both reading it and dealing with it.
Kadiolu picks it up now. Mitoma. Welbeck under intense pressure.
Well, to be fair to that defence, it's nigh on impossible to cater for such astute movement, but at least, eventually, they've made the right call.
Palmer. And that's put paid to a promising move. And here's Welbeck. Oh, it's come loose. Pedro Neto. Fofana. Cucurella. Pedro Neto. Colwill. That's really well manoeuvred. Oh, that's neat. Palmer. And it's Caicedo. FIFA. Joel Veltman. Veltman. Cucurella. Chalobah. James. Fernandez. Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto is pulsing down that left-hand side. It is a corner. James goes short, across it goes. Mitoma. Good spell of possession this, but very little to show for it. FIFA. And it's played forward. It's just beyond his reach. Played cross-field, changing the point of attack. Pedro Neto. And it's Cucurella. Caicedo. James. Tries the cross. Not pretty, but it gets the job done. Last-ditch defending, but that'll do. Tries a shot! Oh, it just wouldn't sit for him.
Palmer really had a decent crack at that. It was a full-blooded effort.
James plays it short. Point-blank header! No, couldn't quite control it.
You really could have done with engaging those crosses much higher up the pitch there. This isn't good defending.
Can he latch on to this? Toma. Fired deep towards the back post. Palmer. Palmer. James. Palmer. Cucurella. Pedro Neto. Cucurella. The referee's awarded a free kick. This could spell real trouble. We know he has already been booked. He knows what's coming. A second yellow, and he's off. The players protesting furiously, but there's little or no sympathy from the ref. Well, there may be some scope for debate over the seriousness of the offence, but none over its repercussions. They'll have to see out the rest of the game with 10 men. Good strong hand by the keeper. Oh, smart save. He had plenty to do.
Well, I thought his starting position was good, and that helped the keeper to judge the flight of the ball and deal with it well.
Joel Veltman. It's a promising run he's making on the right. That is lovely. Plenty waiting in the middle. Now that's a fine challenge. It's a foul. It could be a penalty. Now the referee has given a free kick just outside the box.
Well, it was deliberate, it was cynical, and you have to understand the frustration of being denied a clear opportunity, but it had to be done.
It's a clearance, but not much of one. Fernandez. Pedro Neto. João Pedro. Caicedo. Joel Veltman. Toma. Over to the left. Pedro Neto. Well, that is not the best ball, and he offers an apologetic look.
He made it look a bit predictable.
There will be a throw-in. Cucurella. Colwell. That's really well manoeuvred. That has been cut short.
Well, I'm not quite sure he needed to hold up play quite as much as he did then. A couple of his teammates were very annoyed.
Gone for a throw-in. Lovely bit of skill. And it's Kadiolu. Oh, that's nice. And it's lofted through here. James shifted upfield. Cucurella. Pedro Neto. Cleared away. Kadiolu. Moved on forwards. It's an inviting looking ball that. That pass has been well intercepted. Pedro Neto. Mitoma. Kadiolu. Mitoma. Kadiolu. That's been drilled in. Pedro Neto. Caicedo. Pedro Neto. And it's Cucurella. Fernandez. It's really well cleared. Goes down, but nothing given. Cucurella. No messing about, just bludgeoned away. Cucurella. Caicedo. Dunk. Joel Veltman. Well back.
Mitoma really was well marshalled there because he was denied the opportunity to turn.
Fofana looks to the other side. Now it's João Pedro. Pedro Neto. And that was very necessary. It'll be a throw-in. And it's Caicedo. And the keeper beats it away. Shot a goal! That's going to go a long way. Now it's Pedro Neto. Cucurella. Crosses it in, and it's claimed by the keeper. Joel Veltman. Good work on the right flank here. Ball comes in.
I think those reactions say it all. He didn't wait for the support and the chances gone a begging.
Palmer. And it's James. Does really well to win the ball there. Kadiolu. Joel Veltman. Wins the duel this time. João Pedro. Joel Veltman. Kadiolu. Mitoma. The pressing's intense and it's paid off. João Pedro. Cucurella. He's having a shot! Good try. The outcome could so easily have been different.
Very speculative with little threat, if any, for the keeper.
Aim forwards. Joel Veltman. Kadiolu. And here's the finish! Just off target.
Yeah, he may have snatched at that a bit, even though it was quite close.
Fofana forwards and with intent. Palmer is the guilty party there. Could be danger here. Takes the shot. Oh, fine stop from the keeper.
That's very, very good. You can't ask for much more than that.
James. Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto laid out to the left flank. Pedro Neto. Spread out to the left. That's a super give and go. Danger averted for now. Caicedo have it back and can go again. Joel Veltman. And here's Welbeck. Welbeck. Up he goes! No, not the best of headers.
Well, it's almost like he had too much thinking time there, Peter.
That's really well manoeuvred. Palmer. Fernandez. Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto. Out to the left it goes. Cucurella opts to play it back. Dealt with nicely by the defence. Joel Veltman. Now it's Welbeck. Welbeck providing an outlet on that flank. Nice control. Fofana too strong for his opponent there. Cucurella. Caicedo. Played out wide. And it's Cucurella. That's good play. Fernandez. Shoots!
What an absolute shame. The composure and imagination to set himself free. He should be locked up after that.
Caicedo shifted upfield. He's gone for goal! He's missed, but not by that far.
Yeah, that's a decent try when you consider the range.
Joel Veltman. Dunk. Mitoma. Kajalu. Can he get onto this? Colwell is there and he can get that clear. João Pedro. Dunk. Joel Veltman. Oh, that's really good play on the right. He's driving forward. Toma, out to the right. Cucurella, aim forwards. Pedro Neto. Fofana. Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto. Cucurella. Pedro Neto. Throw it. And it's Caicedo. Defending of the desperate variety. Oh, shooting chance! A real chance and a real let-off.
Caicedo probably should have taken a breath and looked for runners. It helps to put your head up from time to time, Peter.
Dunk, gently done. The pass has gone astray. Colwell. Cucurella. Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto with the delivery. Last-ditch defending, but that'll do. Caicedo. Wins the duel this time. Moved on forwards. Now that's well seen too. João Pedro. Pedro Neto. That's tidy. Chooses to go back. Good take, and can he finish? Pedro Neto. Now it's João Pedro. Over to the left. And it's Fernandes. And here's Neto. Oh, what a climb! No, he's got that completely wrong. Kadiolu. Mitoma. Fernandes.
Well, there's no doubt that they want to win this, Peter. They'll have to maintain the energy and dynamism until the very end, though.
Welbeck. Great defending, strong and determined.
Concentration levels are very good, and so is the commitment. This game could yet yield a winner.
Pedro Neto! And no, he couldn't find the finish.
It's a very watchable game, isn't it? Any goal from here could well be the winner.
Lobbed in behind. Fofana clears it away.
Concentration levels are very good, and so is the commitment. This game could yet yield a winner.
Decent chance! And somehow he managed to miss it. Tries to get it clear.
Well, there's no doubt that they want to win this, Peter. They'll have to maintain the energy and dynamism until the very end, though.
Verbruggen sends that a long way. Calmly anticipates. Well, it looked promising for a moment, but it came to nothing. Now it's João Pedro.
Concentration levels are very good, and so is the commitment. This game could yet yield a winner.
proves too strong. Pedro Neto, and the shot! Verbruggen herring after the ball here. There are a few waiting for it. Palmer. Caicedo, played out towards the right wing. That's very neat. Can he deliver? Dunk gets it away.
Really deserve full marks for effort, though. It's clear they want to win this.
Cadiolu. Caicedo does really well to win the ball there. Colwell aim forwards.
Well, there's no doubt that they want to win this, Peter. They'll have to maintain the energy and dynamism until the very end, though.
Cadiolu. Mitoma. Cadiolu. Dunk. Dunk. Early ball out from the back. Palmer. That's really well manoeuvred. Excellent challenge there, uncompromising. Dunk. Cadiolu. Mitoma. Dunk. Fernandez, that's a good intervention. That was what he had to make in the face of danger that was growing. And it's Cucurella. Now it's Pedro Neto.
Oh, sweet feet.
Cucurella puts them all in. Gets it away.
Concentration levels are very good, and so is the commitment. This game could yet yield a winner.
Sanchez gets his hands on it, and the danger is averted. João Pedro. Cucurella. Deflected behind for a corner kick. And it's been taken short. Delivered it. It's a mighty effort! Goal at his mercy, and somehow he's missed it. Welbeck is offering some sort of an apology there.
Encouraged the pass with an intelligent run, but the pass just lacked pace.
And here's Welbeck. Welbeck. Toma. Purring through the gears. And the shot! And that's a real chance missed. And it's hoisted clear. Great defending, strong and determined. Shot, surely! It's anyone's ball now. Veltman played out to the left flank. And it's Veltman.
Concentration levels are very good, and so is the commitment. This game could yet yield a winner.
Correa. Welbeck. And there's green grass ahead of him. Fernandez cuts it out.
Well, there's no doubt that they want to win this, Peter. They'll have to maintain the energy and dynamism until the very end, though.
If we're going to get a winner, it's got to come now. Palmer. He is just caressing the ball. So who's he picking out? And it's Caicedo. Muscular approach does pay off here.
Concentration levels are very good, and so is the commitment. This game could yet yield a winner.
Moved on forwards. Oh, that's well done, really robust. Oh, he certainly caught him there, it's a free kick. Kajolu crosses it in here.
Concentration levels are very good, and so is the commitment. This game could yet yield a winner.
Cucurella. And it's Cucurella.
Well, there's no doubt that they want to win this, Peter. They'll have to maintain the energy and dynamism until the very end, though.
Mitoma. Still anyone's game this. One moment can decide it.
It's a very open game and an exciting one.
That looks a foul. Yep, referee's given it. There's the header! Did well to pick him out with the cross, but the finish wasn't to be.
Look, there'll be no complaints at all with quick service like that. It's so difficult to defend when the ball comes in so swiftly. But you can't question the finishing in this instance. I think, though, there's enough grounds for them to keep working at it.
Fofana, gently done. Cucurella goes on a charge down the left. Cucurella, played into the middle.
Concentration levels are very good, and so is the commitment. This game could yet yield a winner.
Joel Veltman. Needs a bit of penetration to go with all this possession. Mitoma.
Well, there's no doubt that they want to win this, Peter. They'll have to maintain...
And it's Welbeck. And they're not going to make any further progress now. Fernandez, spread out to the left. And here's Neto. Swings it across. Oh, that's a foul. Which side of the line is that? The referee's decided that he was fouled outside the box, and it is just a free kick. Tempers are flaring. The referee really needs to get a grip again.
Keep calm and carry on. That's the job in a nutshell now.
Fernandez. Palmer. And it's James. Not much time now for anything fresh to happen, I think. And here's Palmer. James climbs up big.
I thought it was going to happen then. How many more chances can they realistically expect now?
The pressing's intense, and it's paid off. Dunk. Just 5 minutes remaining now. Dunk. João Pedro. Palmer. That's a throw. It's Caicedo. Aim forwards.
I think we're about to see a frenetic finish. No half measures from here.
Oh, played through for the wide man. Toma. Kajolu. Wins the duel this time.
This usually is the time teams go into conservation mode.
Cucurella. Hit into the middle. That has been knocked clear. It really is now or never. They need a goal however it comes.
I thought it was going to happen then. How many more chances can they realistically expect now?
Excellent challenge there, uncompromising. João Pedro. They are right into last chance territory. Pedro Neto. Chance for a cross, maybe now or never. Ah, lovely feed, he is such a good mover. Cucurella crosses. Not pretty, but it gets... And the shot! And that's straight down the keeper's throat.
His reputation is better than what we've just seen.
Can he finish? And for a moment, time stood still.
We're talking about creating a problem for yourself. OK, credit to good pressing, but that was entirely avoidable.
Chalobah gets across to intercept that. João Pedro. James. They really do have to make something of this. Dunk is there, and he can get that clear. Beltman gets good distance on it. One good cross, maybe the last chance.
I think we're about to see a frenetic finish. No half measures from here. There's only one word for this, it's baffling. That team needs to figure out where the ball needs to be, and it's not there.
Cucurella. And it's Cucurella. And here's Neto. Final seconds, this has to be it.
I thought it was going to happen then.
Caicedo concedes a free kick for that. Palmer. Pedro Neto. Fernandez. He's not played the ball, that's a foul. Against the crossbar. Chance for a shot!
James really looked as though he had chosen correctly then, and yet we quickly realised he hadn't.
Dunk. Mitoma. And it's Welbeck. Oh, that's a clever-looking ball.
Well, it's probably safe to say now, Peter, that it's going to be all about game management from here.
Cucurella. Showing good feet. Fernandez. Caicedo. It is now or never. Time is against them. Fernandez. Cleared away.
I think we're about to see a frenetic finish, and no half measures from here.
Now this could be a chance. Real chance! Joel Veltman. Ball's gone out of play. Pedro Neto. Oh, such a clever touch. And it's Fernandez. Pedro Neto hangs one in. Oh, they couldn't take the shot! Mitoma. Mitoma. And here's Welbeck. Pedro Neto. João Pedro. Palmer. That looks a good ball through. A reprieve, albeit perhaps momentary. And it's James. Fernandez. James. Lovely feet. Now it's João Pedro. Welbeck. Pressing's intense, and it's paid off. Dunk. Pedro Neto. James. And it's Palmer. João Pedro. Caicedo. Fernandez. Now then, the ball's come loose. Mitoma. Welbeck. Fernandez does really well to win the ball there. James. Palmer. João Pedro. Nice physical challenge. Moved on forwards. Kajolu. Toma. Cucurella. Pedro Neto. And he goes cross-field. Joel Veltman. Toma. Kajolu. There are a few waiting for it. Elects to cross. Cucurella can get it clear. Pedro Neto. Now it's Joel Pedro. And it's Palmer. Very nicely done. Plenty waiting in the middle. Up he goes! Well, that is clearly not the outcome he wanted.
You really could have done with engaging those crossers much higher up the pitch there. This isn't good defending.
Welbeck. Oh, super find. Gets into some space. Can he deliver? Muscular approach does pay off here. Cucurella, gently done. Pedro Neto, delicate ball, and it needs to be. James. Pedro Neto. And it's Cucurella. That is lovely. He's got options in the box if he gets his head up. Pedro Neto. Now here's the delivery. Not one of his best. Mitoma. Joel Veltman. That's really well manoeuvred. And they've got a throw. Now is this the final assault? Oh, that's neat. Pedro Neto with the delivery. Now it's Welbeck. Great defending, strong and determined. Caicedo. Now it's Joel Pedro. And he's there to clear it. And here's Palmer. He's found some space. Palmer, oh, good spread. Looking for a decent ball in. Caicedo. Clears it away. Time to deliver. Referee looks at his watch.